Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to AnTalk, the weekly comic conversation. Finally, I get to do my review for Thor Ragnarok. And what a movie. Marvel has to really mess up for me to not like one of their movies, but this is pretty impressive. It really stands out on almost all levels and is really one of the most fun MCU movies to ever come out. Some of the best humor and even a lot of the best action scenes in a Marvel movie with a ton of likable characters. And you really have to give a lot of praise to the director Taika Waititi because he really brought a lot of elements together and made them all work. There's so much to say about this movie, I don't even know where to start. So let's just get into what it's about. Thor Ragnarok picks up with what's been going on with Thor, who has been searching and trying to find more about the Infinity Stones that you learn about in the Avengers movies. And he hasn't gotten very far, but he quickly learns that Ragnarok is approaching, which in simple terms means the destruction of his home world of Asgard. And this is led by Cate Blanchett's character Hela, the goddess of death, and Thor has to work his way back to Asgard to save the day, and of course he encounters the Incredible Hulk, who has found his way into space also after the last Avengers movie, and ended up on the planet of Sakaar, which is big on gladiator-style fighting for entertainment. I won't get into very many other plot details, but everything I just said has been public knowledge for quite some time now, way before the movie came out. And a lot goes down in this movie, and it flies by. The biggest strength of the movie is the pacing. The movie is just over 2 hours, and for a big Marvel movie, that almost seems short, but in my opinion, it was perfect. From start to finish, things are happening, and there's really not a dull moment in the movie, and it does a really good job balancing multiple locations and a ton of characters. I thought it was handled very well. This is probably one of Marvel's most comedic movies. It's hilarious from start to finish. It's genuinely funny, and a lot of it came off so natural, whether it's the dialogue or just a funny event. You can tell that there is a lot of improv in this movie, but it is really funny, and it all worked really well for me because that's what this movie is. It's a fun, funny, action-packed ride. The movie itself looked amazing. Even though it's CGI heavy, some of the shots and cinematography are insanely beautiful and stick with you. It looked like a comic book. I like how it has this very similar feel to Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's different too. Like you can tell they take place in the same universe, but on different sides of it. I love how this movie comes off as this blend between fantasy and sci-fi. It really has elements of both. It's obviously mostly in space, but Asgard and all those characters being based on Norse mythology, it really has that fantasy feel as well. The action scenes I thought were all pretty good. Like I said, some of the best I've seen from Marvel, at least some of the most entertaining. The fun is spread around, whether it's Thor, Hulk, Hela, the new character Valkyrie, Scourge, or one of the other many characters. That's why Taika Waititi deserves a lot of praise here. He brought all this together and made it all work in a movie that's only 2 hours. And he must work really well with actors because all the cast was so on point and played their roles exceptionally well without anyone really being over the top. Jeff Goldblum plays the Grand Master. He's funny as hell. And he's totally Jeff Goldblum in this movie, but he's eccentric Jeff Goldblum. And I love his character. He does a great job. And of course we gotta talk about the star Chris Hemsworth. He's great as Thor, as you would probably expect. Nobody back in the day would have thought he'd ever have such great comedic sensibilities, but he is a funny actor, and he plays this part really well. And does a good job leading this film and making it feel like it's a Thor movie amongst everything going on. Of course you have Mark Ruffalo playing Bruce Banner and the Hulk. The Hulk steals the show. I mean, what more can you say? What more would you expect? The Hulk is awesome in this, and he's funny. He gets some dialogue. He's developed some speech during his time on Sakaar, and it's really funny to see him interact with Thor as he's Hulk. And he does a good job as Bruce Banner too, as this human being who just kind of woke up in the middle of space, and his chemistry with Chris Hemsworth is really good as well. You have Tessa Thompson playing a new character in the MCU, Valkyrie. She's also a big standout. She's funny, she's a badass, and she's a star on the rise. Carl Urban as Scourge, another new character that has a pretty interesting arc in here without, a ton of screen time, but he's another standout and just adds to this movie. Anthony Hopkins is back as Odin, and he does a good job. Idris Elba is back as Heimdall. who's awesome. And there's even a surprise appearance that if you don't know it, I won't spoil it here. Then of course you have Tom Hiddleston as Loki, who always does a great job playing the part. Not only is he an awesome character, but his relationship with Thor, the brother dynamic, has always been a highlight in all of the Thor movies for me. I thought the movies have always done a pretty good job with that, and this movie does that as well. Then you have Cate Blanchett playing Hela. First off, Blanchett does a great job playing the part. She really gets into it, looks like she's having a lot of fun, but doesn't overdo it at all, at least in my opinion. Some could say that she's not fully developed enough or focused on enough like a lot of MCU villains, but I kind of disagree. At least I think there is enough there. You do understand her motivations and they do make sense. And I do think she is one of the best villains to come out of the MCU so far. Marvel has always said that the villains are not the focus of their films. They're more like devices for the heroes. And that's still true, but I do think there is enough here from Hela to say that she's pretty decently developed. And like I said, Cate Blanchett does an incredible job with the part. So I do like Hela. She is badass and gets her time to shine. So I was pretty happy with it. If you want to say this movie has any flaws, it's probably that it's not really that serious. The movie doesn't dwell a long time or reflect on moments of significance, but it really did not bother me at all. They were going for a certain tone, and everything in the movie matches that tone. And I would argue that it does handle some of those more meaningful moments pretty darn well. Without spoilers, a couple of those do include family-oriented moments. Thor, Loki, and even Odin, their father. So if you wish it was a little more serious, I get it, but be honest with yourself. Do you really wish it was more like those other Thor movies? And have half the movie be taken up by that forced, poor excuse for a relationship with Natalie Portman? I mean, I like the movies and all, but all the stuff with the humans is just awful. This is the Thor movie we needed, and I'm glad we got it. I'm not sure exactly where I rank this among the MCU movies, but it's easily top 5 for me. And that's just my opinion. I feel like the past couple of years of Marvel movies, probably going back to Civil War, is that they are fully embracing and just going all out with their comic book weirdness. And I love it. It's showing and it's doing great. Look at Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. You can look at Spider-Man. You can look at Civil War, Doctor Strange, and now Thor Ragnarok. They're going all out. They're not scared of trying things and, doing what they want to do, and it's awesome. So that's the short version on how I feel about Thor Ragnarok. I loved it. It's just a fun, funny, action-packed ride. I'd recommend it to anyone, even my own mother. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Let me know what you thought about Thor Ragnarok in the comments below. This is AnTalk, the weekly comic conversation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and thanks for watching, and take care. Hey guys, did you like this video? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, click right here on this icon to become a subscriber. And if you are a subscriber, don't forget to ring that bell so you can stay updated with all my videos. And if you want to see another video just like this one, click right here. And as always, thanks for watching AnTalk, the weekly comic conversation.